wondering, are people ready for OU's running back depth? Even in the 2019 season, are people ready? Because I think locally, I think we know, I think we understand. And national media is going to catch up to us and be like, oh, yeah, we forgot to tell y'all, Oklahoma got Kennedy Brooks, they got Trey Sermon, they got TJ Pledger, they got Ramondre Stevenson. Oh, yeah, they could redshirt this dude named Marcus Major. That one dude has apparently called the most physical and impressive back since Adrian Peterson. I think that all of your Adrian Peterson comparisons are wrong as a general statement. There has never been, there will never be another Adrian Peterson. Full stop. As some of the folks say, period. But I'm also looking at this and I'm going, if you're Oklahoma and you looked at the depth chart and you have real actual recruits like Seth McGowan, like Jason McClellan, and they ask you to your face, yo, man, that's a lot of running backs, and that's a lot of really talented running backs. How am I going to fit? I think you can only give the Cale Gundy speech, the same one that Cale Gundy gave to Adrian Peterson when he was recruiting him as the number one player in the country, let alone number one athlete, which is, do you want to win with us or not? Because we're going to win with you or without you, which is bold, which is brass, which is why Cale Gundy is one of the best college football recruiters working today. He's going to keep it to you 100%. And now you got the nation's number one recruit at running back, Zachary Evans, who retweets on the Twitters at RunZekeRun after Seth McGowan says, we work and let's ride, on top of a Jason McClellan tweet celebrating his commitment. Zach Evans is like, oh yeah, trio? And then he tweeted the eyes. And we all know that there are some unaccounted for emojis tweeted from the one Lincoln Riley's Twitter account. And if you are woke to Twitter and the way that Sooner Twitter, Oklahoma Twitter, interacts with Lincoln Riley, anytime that man just tweets googly eyes, that means there has been a commitment to him and his program. Now, when those commitments become public, it's totally up to recruits. Which is one of the reasons I also love this, is because, you know, it ain't Lincoln Riley trying to steal nobody's thunder. He's just trying to let the people know we all right. We going to be all right. And now you got Zach Evans playing the game. You got Seth McGowan playing the game. You got Jason McClellan playing the game. And I thought you would only take 2 running backs in the cycle if you're Oklahoma because of the way the scholarship distribution is set up. But what if Zach Evans comes to you and he says, hey, yo, I have decided I want to commit to Oklahoma. Can you take me? Now, Zach Evans also tweeted a top 5 here last week. And in that top 5 was not A&M, ampersand U, Texas A&M. They weren't there. University of Texas, they weren't there. You know who was there? Oklahoma, along with LSU, Alabama, Ohio State. Look, when you talk about running backs, you are talking about Oklahoma. And that's no shade. That's just what the truth it is. I mean, look, if I'm Cale Gundy, if I'm Lincoln Riley. Oh, sorry, Patrick, what you got?
Well, I was reading this on 24/7 when we were looking at this, and it was one of those things that caught my eye. Apparently now, he had initially or in the past said he wanted to go play with one of his teammates.
Okay.
And said teammate just committed to Alabama. So, again, you might change your mind down the road, but
no, and that's fair. Mm-hmm. That's fair. We all want to play with our teammates. Matter of fact, some of these dudes want to play with their siblings, and it's just not going to be possible, or it might be. Now, Bama is also a place where if I'm Zach Evans, I got to give some thought. Matter of fact, if you get a hard offer from Alabama, you really got to give it some thought. Same way if you get a hard offer from Clemson because they're winning national championships. You know, and I get that. But where I'm going with this is if you're Oklahoma, you're also going, hey, check out Joe Mixon getting a second contract. Samaje Perine is still out there. Adrian Peterson been playing for years. DeMarco Murray got to retire. When you're talking about Oklahoma running backs, you need to be talking about, hey, not only are we putting them in the league, they stay in the league because we know how to develop you, which is the knock on Texas. They haven't developed anybody of substance here for some time. So why would Zach Evans have Texas listed? Because he's from North Shore? Because that's where he went to high school? Patrick, I can see you over there. What do you got?
No, I was trying to find some info on Joe Mixon. But no, yeah, it's how many backs can you realistically distribute the ball to in an offense? Even an offense like OU that runs a lot of plays.
I got your answer.
Yeah.
1. And you know why I say 1? 1, because Rodney Anderson blew out his ACL. Because TJ Pledger had a hip injury. Because Trey Sermon had an ankle injury. Because when it came down to crunch time in November, championship November, when they need to reel off 4 straight, they had 1 healthy running back. That is why you keep the cupboard full and you're always ready to go if you are a running back.
Because I felt like OU's offense with the 1-2, the 2 guys, the 1-2 punch has worked really well. Now, what'll be interesting this year is you have Jalen Hurts, who he will factor into the running game too. He will be a guy
He'll factor into it, I think, in the same way that Kyler did.
I think there might be more called runs for Jalen than there were for Kyler.
Yes, and because there were called runs for Kyler, right? Like when Oklahoma offense started to stall against Texas in the Big 12 championship, Lincoln went 4 wide and called a QB draw. That's how I think you would want to use Jalen Hurts, because at the end of the day, you don't have Austin Kendall back there like you did for Kyler Murray. You need to keep him healthier than you might want anybody else. Now, Tanner Mordecai is going to get that next man up speech the same way as anybody else at running back. I guess where I'm going with this is how it affects recruiting and how you can continue to land these kinds of recruits as Oklahoma, even as it looks like you're going to have a logjam. And that just be being Ric Flair. It's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio, listening to Alabama call my name, when last year I spent more money on spilled liquor in bars from one side of this world to the other than you made. You talking to the Big 12 championship wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun. And I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.